Round one's tonight. Round two's tomorrow. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Finally, draft day is here, and I can't wait for it. Tonight we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Miss TSR and the Couch Contingent. But before we get to the draft tonight, the Spurs could still trade pick number 14 before or during the draft. So I want to talk about this article from Pounding the Rock, who give us not one, not two, not three, but four trade scenarios for pick 14 being shipped out. I'll go over the trade scenario and then immediately give my 2 cents on whether I like that trade or not. Let's get into the article. Our Spurs are expected to select Dylan, you son of a Harper, second overall in the draft, but there's less clarity about what they'll do with the 14th pick. If our Spurs are not thrilled by the prospects available to them, or if they simply want to add more veteran pieces instead of rookies, they could trade the pick. For who? For what? For me? For you? Forget about it. All right. The Spurs trade Keldon Johnson, the 14th pick to the Kings. The Kings again? Really? For Jonas Valanciunas and Devin Carter. Sacramento doesn't have a pick in this draft. The Atlanta Hawks currently own it from the Kevin Huerter trade. By the way, Atlanta Hawks guys, they're getting better. I know KP's injured a lot, but I'm looking at our picks that we have from them. I'm like, those picks might not be as good as we thought. Anyway, we'll read that another time. All right, so we trade for Kevin. We don't trade for Kevin Huerter. Trade for Jonas and Carter, but we're giving up KJ in the 14th pick. As far as Valanciunas, he is slow. He is a tank. He's big enough to take up space inside, can punish smaller players in the post, and is a good screener and dive man. He would back up Wemby, but could also share the floor with him for stretches. Carter should be an easy to reroute for another asset. Should be easy to reroute for another asset. There's trade number 2. But let's dwell on the first trade first. Valanciunas, 6'11", 265 pounds, has a 7'6" wingspan. I believe he'll be 33 when the season starts, has 2 years left on his contract, about $10 million a year, so he is a bargain for what he's going to be doing. Devin Carter, 6'2" point guard. Yeah, I could see the Spurs shipping him out. My take on this trade is a soft no. I don't think Jonas meets our timeline. However, I wouldn't be upset if it happened, but I would prefer we take a player with the 14th pick overall. Trade number 2. The Spurs trade Malachi Branham, the 14th pick, and the 38th pick to the Hornets for Mizark Williams. There's a lot of reference today. Just go with it. If you get him, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Williams had a career year. That's great to see in most areas, despite missing about half the season. Of course, there's the Lakers trade that fell through as well. He's a productive player when he's on the floor, and while his defense leaves a lot to be desired, he's only 23 and has good tools thanks to his 7'6" wingspan, same as Jonas, and 9'9" standing reach. All right, he's got some length. It would be risky for the Spurs, though, to move a good asset for Williams. All right, my 2 cents on this one. 7 foot, 240 pounds, the 7'6" wingspan. Yes, this is a big that we desperately need. And moving on from Malachi Branham, let's go. If Mark could stay healthy, that's also let go. Let's go. But Mark Williams has missed more games in his short career than he has played. This is also a hard no. I would rather have the 14th overall pick and draft somebody and develop somebody than a player that might give us 40 games or less a season. Again, if he was healthy, sure, but no. All right, Spurs trading Keldon Johnson again in trade scenario number 3. We trade KJ, the 14th pick, to the Chicago Bulls for P-Dubs, Patrick Williams, in a 2028 second rounder. Patrick Williams has been a disappointment. That's all you need to know. Is actually that all I highlighted? I don't know. It is. All right, Patrick Williams has been a disappointment. I guess I don't really need much more. This is, no. $18 million a year for P-Dubs for the next 4 years. This is an absolute hard no for me. I'd rather have the 14th pick and Keldon Johnson. Say you will about Keldon. Better rebounder, better scorer. Not as good of a three-point shooter, a little smaller, but has done, a community guy, locker room guy. Why get rid of all that for, no. Nope. This is a no. Trade number 4, the final trade. The Spurs unload most of their 2022 draft, 2/3 of it, and send Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, the 14th pick to the Washington Wizards for Corey Kispert and their 18th pick. What do you have to say about Corey Kispert? He doesn't create his own shots in a traditional way, but his constant off-ball movement means he gets open often and can fire without hesitation off the catch. He's not a good rebounder, passer, or defender, but knows his role. Does he sound like somebody else that was on the Spurs not too long ago? Well, he should, because essentially he's a younger version of the Doug McDermott that suited up for the Spurs, but on one of the more team-friendly contracts in the league. This would be a small move for both teams, but could help them balance out their rosters, and it would allow San Antonio to grab a bench piece and still have a second first-round pick. All right, he's actually right above me right there. Last trade, Corey Kispert. He's going to make over the next 4 years 14 to 13 million. He actually has a descending contract, 14, 14, 13, 13. 6'7" forward, lifetime 38% three-point shooter. Actually, I'm going to say yes to this. That when I saw the names, I'm like, Corey Kispert, probably not. But you know what? If the Spurs can get the player they want at 19, Fleming, Behringer, Reno, somebody, then I probably would be on board with this. Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley, their days are numbered here. Malachi Branham brings some offense, but he's very inconsistent, and he just can't play defense. Blake Wesley is the opposite. He plays some pretty good defense at times, but his offense has just been... I swear if we could put the best parts of both those players together, we'd have a really good role player off the bench, but we can't do that. So moving on from both of them to get somebody that's a solid three-point shooter off the bench, yeah, I would be in for this. And he's on, as they mentioned, a team-friendly contract. As the salary cap goes up, his contract goes down. But again, this would be contingent on if the Spurs truly believe the guy they want is available at 19. So that's the trade scenarios for players. Could other things happen with the 14th pick? Maybe. I could see possibly a trade with the Brooklyn Nets, trading pick 14 for the 19th and one of the many picks they now have in the 20s. The Brooklyn Nets have 5 picks in the first round. I believe it's like 8, 19, 22, 26, 27. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not drafting 5 players in the first round. No way that happens. So we're going to see a lot of movement, I think, in tonight's draft. But will the Spurs be part of it? I know a lot of you said, TSR, we don't want to have to develop 3 young players, but look at some of the guys in the roster that we're just not using anyway. Would you rather take a chance and maybe trade the 14th pick and get 19 and 26 and draft a player like maybe Fleming and Reno and try to develop them? Or you want to sit on Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley? I'd rather take the risk and bring some size in than a bunch of guys are 6'4", 6'5". I know I'm rambling now, guys. I can't wait till tonight. It feels like a long time coming. Maybe something will happen before the draft tonight, and I'll have to do another video real quick, but I can't wait to see you guys. We'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's been a while since we've been live. It's been a long time since Ms. TSR's been live with us. I was live for the lottery last month, and then I think she was last live with us for the Hawks Hate Watch. One of the Hawks Hate Watches. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. And we fixed the mic issues. I think the mic issues on the new PC will be fixed tonight so we can scream and holler and not blow out the mic, which would be nice, wouldn't it? That's all I got. Drop a comment down below. Would you do any 4 of these trades? Or are you just no across the board? Or would you maybe do 2 out of the 4? 3 out of the 4? Or is there a chance you would do every single one of them? Can't wait to hear back from you guys. Hit the thumbs up, support the channel. See you tonight. And as always, go Spurs, go.